Hello everybody and welcome to a Let's Code, and we will code using computer craft coding Lua thingies, and we will be making a game. And this won't be any game, this will be a text-based soccer sim. And why? That's because Game Dev Tycoon forced me to do one, because I just have to now. So okay, we will be going over some basic stuff today, and also about the main layout, like how the game will work and what it can do, and things like that. Now a little disclaimer. Well, no, first. For this series we'll be using two programs, namely one the ComputerCraft emulator. Here are all the informations if you want any information about it, and we will be using Notepad++. Now maybe since these are multiple screens, there will be some. I'm using Bandicam to record things, and it'll overlap the screen instead of actually recording the actual game. So maybe something will overlap and you will see random Dutchness, but I will try to avoid such things. Now, let's start. Okay, so let's now first of all think of how this game will work. Now I don't have a very exact idea how this is going to work, but I have some main ideas I want in it, and we will expand the idea as we go. So this will be a soccer simulation, and how this will start. The game itself, you'll first will be able to select a team, and maybe we'll expand on that, but let's do that later. So we will first select a team, and maybe there will be some sort of campaign thing like improvement and things. And basically the thing is, there will be multiple players, and the players will have stats like how quick they can run, and how good their aim is, and things like that. And yeah, so there will be a select team phase with players. Players have stats. And then we will have the actual game. And the game will work in such a way that we will first players, they don't always play their best, so there will be a calculating debuff part, debuff part, where maybe one of the players gets sick and they can't play, or they'll just play worse than they actually can. Then there will be you have to there will be some cuts in here. Then you can also choose the player positioning on the field. You'll have the traditional standard soccer. We'll be using the European football soccer thing, with just people on a field and then having a ball and shooting it in the goal of the enemy. We'll have the player positioning, namely one up front guy, three less up front but still kind of offensive people, then 3 middle players, and 3 defense people, and 1 keeper. So that'll be your whole team. And then you can actually play the game. So there will be a a enemy generation. Then there will be a then you will be actually in the game. So in the game you'll have this screen, and you'll start with the kickoff at the referee point in the middle. So you'll start, and the guy has a ball, and you can basically give him an order as for what to do. Now the thing with the thing is it won't, like, we can do it two ways basically. We can either make you type really fast and then make sure that the timing is important. I don't know how that would work. We're not going with that. We are going to do some sort of turn-based game. And basically, like, there will be a stat for a player for whether he can start with the ball or not. And will mostly just be his speed, I think, yeah. So then you'll be able to pass the ball to someone. You can run with the ball. You can try to shoot at goal. Shoot at goal, and this list may extend in the near future. Then there will be also a time where the opposing team has the ball. You'll be able to send one guy. Will you be able to send one guy? Or should you be able to send multiple guys at a time? Yeah, you kinda should, shouldn't you? So there has to be... If we're going to do this completely turn-based, then there should be some sort of... You should be able to manage more people in the same turn. Yeah, so, okay. So, you'll be able to pass, run, and shoot at goal. With, so it'll, you'll basically say, like, pass, pass can only be done by the guy who has the ball. So pass to, let's say you have a guy named Patrick. You can pass to Patrick, and he will get the ball, assuming you will kick it, you will pass properly, and it will not be taken by someone from the opposing team. So you'll be able to control all your guys in one turn, and then when the turn is done, then the things will happen, and you'll see how the enemy will react and whether things will go as planned or not. Then you also have the phase where you can basically where the opposing team has the ball, and then you need to be able to send people to defend the goal. You need to be able to run towards ball. You also need to be able to... Well, you basically need to be able to run anywhere. So maybe we'll have some sort of coordinate system for the... Well, let's just run towards goal, or run towards midfield. That should be a possibility, to be able to, when the ball is captured, then you can basically kick it away. So there should basically be these waypoints, or should we just do a grid system thingy? Yeah, there will be a grid system thing, but you'll be like run towards goal, like Patrick will then run towards goal, so he'll be approaching the goal with whatever his speed is. We have his speed stat is, and how things will work out. And that's so. Yeah, so the syntax will be like actual words, but there will be some sort of grid thing going on. Then you also need to be able to defend goal. We already have that, and to run towards ball. That will be a bit more interesting, since it needs to find the player, and you'll be needing to manage things. which will be interesting to display since you need to display all the players' positions in one turn. But okay, maybe we'll have like some sort of ASCII art type thing for a feel, or maybe we won't. We'll see. So okay, that is basically then you can score, and eventually the score will be saved, and after so many turns then the game will be over. And then you have a game done, and maybe you can improve your guy or something, or whatever we'll do then. But okay, that is the basic game. Now, this is very ideal, this is very ambitious, and I don't know how much of this will actually happen, but we'll see how things go. So, since I've talked quite a bit, but no coding has happened, we won't be doing too much coding, but we'll be tackling some basic problems. So, a little cut here. Okay, so here is one piece of code I've already made before recording this thing. It is a function, and this function, do%, is quite useful for our little stat thing plan we have there. How this thing works: you'll have a input, and let's call it input x, read, then we'll print do percent x. So okay, so what this thing does, it'll have your input here, do percent input, percent e for I, actually I for input. Then if percentage I is greater or equal to math.random 100, which makes math.random 100 generates a pseudo-random number between 1 and 100. We're completely trusting Lua's randomizer here, and I don't know how good this thing works, but it'll be kind of key to our little game here. So when the input is bigger or equal to math random 100, so the random number that's being generated, then it will return true, else it will return false. So basically what will happen, this thing will generate a number between 1 and 100, and let's say your input is 80, and then if we actually save this and we go clear, and we'll go game, and your input is 80, then, okay, a little flaw there for some sort of reason. If you type a number, it is a string and not a number, so you need to do two number here. I didn't extensively test it, so excuse me. Again, so now, if your input is 80, in theory, 80% of the times it should return the value true. Now, and just to prove that, let's actually wait until we get a false. Might take a while. There we go, one false, which, let's see, how many truths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and one false. So, okay, that's a very interesting definition of 80% chance, but okay. Anyway, that in theory should work properly. So now, that is our percentage solver. Now, we do need some more here. So, let me actually get some more. Then, we'll have another function called int, short for integer. And what this function does is it take two inputs, the inputs and the divisory thing, divisory, Then it'll divide the input by the divisory. It'll store it in t. Then t will be made into a 0 dot number thing. So if it's 3.141, then it'll come out as 0.141. And then q will be that number that is left times the divisory, which will result into a number which displays how many pieces. Like if you were to see it as a fraction here, like let's actually go here, game. If you were to 14 third, and then if you have 12 third, that results into 3, but then 2 third is left. Now that 2 will then come as output. The top part, what is divided by in the leftover. I don't know, something with volcanoes. And here you go, the output is 2. Now if we were to pick something, the thing is, it says 2.0 because it is a fraction. It was a fraction, so there were the numbers behind the decimal point. Now I do wonder, I have not tested this myself, but if we were to do 22 and 7, okay, this will just give one number behind the decimal point, while if we actually were to get out a calculator, do I have a hotkey for that? No, I don't. If we were to get out a calculator and we were to do 22 divided by 7, then we can see that it is quite a bit larger than one number behind the decimal point thing here. So yeah, but okay, that's not that important. Anyway, that is the reason why we have this is because if we want to do something every other step. Oh wow. So anyway, the reason why we have this whole function is to, let's say we were to want to do an action, we were to play the best out of 5 game, and we want this thing to stop after 5 games. Now that's not entirely true, but it is the best example I can come up with. So we would have to have a thing going on which would count, like it would. So why wouldn't you just do c equals 5? Well, because let's say this is only a part of the code and you want to have a whole campaign thing going on, then you want to keep track of the amount of games that have been played, then this will int c comma 5 will also fire if c equals 10. And if you then have a thing which does print c divided by 5, then you can see how many games have been played. So if we were to run this, it would only say 1. It would wait 10. Well, let's actually make a little print game finished, like this, and then we would, well, let's repeat this too, actually. Let's do another repeat, and until inf equals 1, and here we'll say that inf equals 0, and don't you worry, I saw I needed 2 equal signs there, and this should also equals 0. So now, if I didn't fail horribly, which I doubt, this should, now the game finished, first game finished, nothing, second game finished, still nothing, third game finished, fourth game finished. Now fifth game finished, and now one best out of 5 has been played. Well, now after 5 other games, the second thing has been finished. So you don't have to reset the C this way, which can be useful to keep track of things like how many best of 5s have been played. And this turned out to be quite a useful example indeed. So okay, let's terminate this thing. So before we end this episode, will we be doing one more thing? No, let's keep that for another episode, because my raw video is 26 minutes now and I feel like I'm going on too long now. So okay, I will see you guys in the next episode. In the next episode we will be processing we'll be making a main function to process the inputs into actual strings we can work with. So that will happen in the next episode. Bye, people.